Photography becomes incredibly easy once you understand this statement. I'm going to give you the statement and then I'm going to explain why. If you can learn it, it's pointless. This is not a literal thing to do, but it makes really good sense. And let me try and explain this to you. So take this for example. I'm shooting a video here. I have a light, arm's length, that's me hitting it there, just off camera. It is giving me, what, 4.6, 400 ISO. I'm exposed. I've got my eyes just above the line for composition for all of thirds. We've got matching hotspots in the corner. It's all nicely composed, got vanishing lines. All of this, I can tell you exactly how to set this shot up, but it doesn't help because anyone can do it. Anybody can do this bit of the job. I can teach you how to do a 25 light setup for a still life that would make you... But it's no use because anyone can do it. If I can teach you how to do it, anyone can do it. Now, of course, you do need to know these things. You do need to learn these things. These are like the base blocks. But this is not what will make you a successful photographer. This is a given. Understanding how a camera works, understanding how lighting works, the inverse square law, diffraction, refraction, understanding the law of incidence, all these things are just fundamentals. It's just the basics. It's like learning to walk in photography. Composition, all of this is very, very simple. You can learn it, you can teach it. It's out there for everybody. There's no mystery. It's just physics, isn't it, really? The bit you can't learn, or the bit you can't be given, is what makes the difference. And what that is your voice. And this is assuming that you want to be a top photographer, not that you want to go and shoot the local events. Yeah, just have a great business model and have good customer service. Get on with it. Like, you can make a lot of money. Same with weddings. But if you want to be a fine art photographer, a commercial photographer, don't mistake that with corporate, it's not the same thing, then the thing you need is the voice. The thing you need is the rationale. The thing you need is the why. And there's someone at my door, hang on. So how do we learn the unlearnable? How do we find the thing which can't be taught that we need? And this is the really difficult part of photography, and this is the part that took me 10 years to get. And I'm going to try and impart with you what I think might help a lot of people fast track that process because I'm a bit of a slow learner. Studio Access is the platform for those of you who want a more in-depth look at photography and videography. It's not the quick fixes we share over on YouTube, it's the more in-depth and detailed information that takes longer to put out there. This is looking at behind the scenes on shoots, working with top stylists, assistants and digitechs, right the way through to practical things like security for your camera equipment, how we make sure that we don't get cleared out, looking after your lighting, care of fuses, bulbs, domes, and all of that information that just isn't for most photographers. Studio Access is designed for those who really want to excel in photography, be it as an amateur hobbyist, an artist, or a commercial photographer. It's really for those who want to go above and beyond what's available on the YouTube platform. If you head over to tinhouse-studio.com, you can find Studio Access over there or the link down below in the comments, as well as in the description for this video. What I did and what I managed to do through pure happenstance, that can't be a word, is discover what I love. And it happened in the most natural kind of way possible. I was sat down reading a magazine. I've told this story before. And my girlfriend was baffled that I was reading because I don't read, because I'm quite dyslexic and I really struggle with reading. And she was baffled that I was reading. She's like, what are you reading? I was like, I'm reading this thing about pop art. It's really hard to say pop art. So why? I was like, oh, I just love it. It's just the simplicity of it, dialing it down to its absolute minimum. I love it. And she just said, why aren't you doing that? And it is the most obvious question in the world. So I was doing these big, complex Leibovitz style shoots at the time. I was reasonably successful, can't complain, had a studio, had an agent, had a manager. It was all going pretty darn good. And I was like, yeah, why don't I do that? And then just by chance, lockdown happened. I couldn't do the sort of work I was doing, so I did just that. And my career skyrocketed in a way that I never expected. I was more successful than I thought would ever be possible for someone of my limited skill set. And it's just because I did the thing I loved. So my advice would be, what is it you love? What are you hanging on your walls? What are you excited by? Not cameras, not lenses, not setups. What visually does it for you? What films do you like watching? It'll be no surprise to you that I like watching Wes Anderson films. I just love perfectly straight lines. You know, I mean, this shot here, compositionally, irks me because we're not straight on, but we can't be straight on in these shots here because my studio floor and studio ceiling don't line up together, and it being nearly straight but not quite just drives me slightly insane, so I have to go full wonky on the angle. But knowing those things about yourself, that's what makes a difference. That is what will make you a great photographer. And whatever it is, the more bizarre, the more out there it is, the better. Whenever Karen and I are looking for new photographers, because I work as an agent for Agent at Large as well, as a bit of a side hustle, because that's what I need, more side hustles in my life. But whenever I'm doing that, we're looking for the weirdest. We're looking for the never seen before. We're looking for something that nobody else is doing. We're not looking for a slightly technically better version of someone else's work or someone who's got really sharp images. No one cares about that outside of the photography community. We want originality, and we want somebody who understands what it is to be themselves. And it is not a quick fix. My eureka moment happened, but if it didn't, I don't know. Maybe I definitely wouldn't be on YouTube, that's for sure. But maybe this whole thing wouldn't be happening. But I think the only way it would have worked, if that hadn't have happened, is if someone sat me down and went, why do you shoot what you shoot? And when I just turn around and go, it's cool, I'd feel like a bit of a wally, and then I'd have to come up with a better answer, realise I couldn't think of one, and then they'd be like, well, what would you create if like you could create anything you wanted to? And it would be some abstract pop art sort of imagery. So that's what I do. Yeah, hopefully this helps someone. Quick video, quick tip, hopefully very useful. Bye-bye.